One of the things that surfaced here on the bailing out of the banks, the infamous TARP funds, $700 billion that was to be loaned out to banks by the Federal Reserve and the Treasury, and the excuse that was given and the fear that was pressed on our members of Congress was that if we did not do this, if the Congress of the United States did not approve the $700 billion bailout, that there were going to be riots in the streets and there would be martial law. Now, that may be a possibility, but again, if you look at the situation, unemployment right now in this country is at 20%, and we're just a year into this recession. Back in 1932, 1933, really the depth of the depression and jobless rate, I think it was only 30%. 30% of the people were unemployed. We're now at 20% after the first year. So I think there really may be a real fear if we do have a total economic collapse that there will be riots in the streets and cities will burn. In that particular scenario, this is why they would legitimately use detention centers or internment camps, because if you have masses of people that are lawbreakers, that you have to separate those from the good people, and what are you going to do with them? There's not enough state or county jail facilities to stick all these people in, so you would naturally have to put them in bigger areas, sports arenas, you name it.
Aren't these people that are just looking for food?
These would be people that you'd probably have an entire gamut of people, not just people that were looking for food, but people that were unemployed, people that had lost their homes, people that were disgusted, and people, more importantly, without hope. You'll find very few rioters ever through, I think, the history of the United States that would riot and destroy if they had hope. These are people that are just off the chart. These are people that are unemployed, people that have lost their homes, people that have lost their families due to financial hardships. These are people that may as very well be hungry, that they didn't get their welfare check or their aid-dependent children check. And again, this is not going to be 1929. In 1929, we had people that were a little bit more polite, let's just say, that they would line up for their government cheese or their help from the government. But right now, I think so many different things are so emotionally charged in this country that if there were an economic collapse, there is a real possibility that there would be riots in the cities, and that's when they would bring in the martial law. I've always contended that it would be over an economic collapse, not after a backpack nuke went off or some wingnut or government agent put sarin in one of the subways.
Something that affects